Yeah.
And Marcus Robinson, now that I'm sitting up front with you and close, I feel like I want to say a middle name right there. Marcus.
Robinson.
Okay,
Yeah. There's an A in the middle.
Oh, it's an A initial.
Yeah,
Marcus
it's
A.
Marcus,
Robinson.
yeah.
Just to know, somewhat of all that you've been through as far as it relates to your art and your artistry. How would you really sum that up? When did you really fall in love with the art? Were you in the house? Were you at school? We want to know these type of questions when you fell in love with art.
Well, I don't know when I fell in love with it, but
Okay.
I do know that it became like a full-time thing for me when I was on punishment. When I,
Classic.
growing up, your punishment was to stay in the house. So,
Right.
Instead of being bored, I just kind of picked up a pencil. I used to collect comic books, so I used to try to draw the comic books, draw the Incredible Hulk, Archie comic strips. I used to try to draw them, and so I just, first I started tracing, and then I started, exploring to do it on my own, and I got pretty good at it. And I was on punishment a lot. So,
So you had a lot of time.
a lot of practice.
A lot of free time.
A lot of free time.
To get your drawing in.
To perfect
Now, what
the
age
craft.
is this, though? What age is this?
About 5, 6 years old.
5 years old.
Yeah.
So 5 years old, if I had to think back, I probably had coloring books. Whether I was on punishment or not, I probably had the coloring books.
Coloring books.
I was good at tracing,
Mm-hmm.
the outline. I got that down pat with the color pencil.
Yep.
Then I come in with the crayon, but somehow always went out the line.
Jacked it all up.
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Were you one who was like in the lines at 5 years old? You say you were drawing the Incredible Hulk. No, I didn't have that.
Yeah,
So how did you
I
know?
think I stayed in the lines. I think I actually was making my own coloring books, back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I was pretty good at coloring books.
So you're 5 years old. You're staying in the lines. You're developing your own comic books. When do you compare yourself with a peer to know that this is a little different? Even if you were in a classroom with me, to know that I was coloring outside of the lines, but my lines are perfect, somewhat to some degree. 5 years old, a lot of punishments happening, so it's getting even better as I'm staying over the years. It's getting better. When did you start to compare yourself to your peers and know that yours had this different impact? Yours was standing out in some degree.
Well, art wasn't the thing that made you cool growing up, so it wasn't like one of those things that I was sharing with everybody. It was like one of those kept secrets. In elementary school I would enter art contests and I would win them all the time, so I was just known as a guy that used to always win art contests. But it was one of those things, man, that you just kept to yourself. It was like my thing. So I had that thing, plus I had to try to be like everybody else and play basketball and all that other stuff. But art was always like my thing.
So when did this secret really start to reveal itself and manifest itself where you were, I guess, confident enough to share with others? Should we say?
Yeah, I would say probably like 2005. I was laid off from work. I took like all the money I had and I invested in an airbrush kit, and I kind of taught myself. I taught myself how to airbrush.
Okay.
And it involved art. It involved a certain tool and using that tool to create art.
Okay.
And it, I sold a couple of pieces. It became lucrative. I was laid off, so I said, you know what? I could turn this into a business. And my family was happy. Well, sometimes it was happy because I spent a lot of time doing it. But it became prosperous.
It was your new punishment.
It was my paid punishment.
Now, immediately when I think of airbrush, I think of spray cans, graffiti,
tagging.
You had any of those
not
moments going
me.
on for you?
Not
All
me.
legit.
Yeah.
All legit. Let's put that out there.
I don't know who's watching this, but yeah.
So we were legit
Yep.
starting this business. You mentioned being laid off. And I think that's something very important because you have choices right then and there. Do I start this passion? Do I go with it?
Yep.
Or do I find another job?
Yep.
Something that I know could for sure bring in the money. You have a family at this point, you said?
Yes.
That's a real struggle, Marcus.
Yeah. And I had a background in computer engineering, so You know, it
how
was a
were
tough
you?
choice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. You know, my family was supportive, and it allowed me to explore this. You know, and you know, I don't think any of us knew that it was gonna take off the way it took off. And I was, you know, stationed in the mall, Trumbull, and you know, it was pretty cool. You know, I did it up until, you know, I couldn't do it anymore, and then shortly after that, my son got ill, and you know, he was diagnosed with cancer, and it just became really crazy around the house. So I needed to kind of explore full-time work, which allowed me to be home more.
You know, getting back into our storyline, you're home. You're experiencing this illness now upon your son. Your art is still calling your name though.
I hear it. Faintly.
You hear
faintly,
it faintly. Faintly it's calling Marcus.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And you put it all down. You pull it all down. You do what you do as a father, as a man. You stay in the home.
Yep.
I could dig that. When do you pick it back up?
Actually, one night I just, you know, picked up a sketchbook, old sketchbook, an old 2H pencil, and I started to take out my frustrations in therapy back in the drawing. So I drew one picture, it helped. I drew another picture, it helped me more. And then the passion, I just started feeling it come back.
Marcus, I'm sensing a lot of therapeutic artwork around you, and you know, even down to the punishment, to how you got through with your son and dealing with that, and for him to go at 16, I'm sure was very heartbreaking. So now we do pick it back up slowly but surely, you say. And in my mind, where's that leaving you today? Where's that?
Well, today,
yeah.
Because I did try to go back into the workforce. It's not me now. Like, I picked up the pencil, I felt it again. I'm saying, you know what? You know, I'm not getting any younger. I want to explore art again. I want to explore artistry again. I want to get back into that whole flow and see what I possibly could have missed, you know, years before that. And I'm at a good place with it now. You know, I understand the marketing. I understand, you know, what my niche is and what my style is now. I actually developed a style, and I put art out there and people like it. You know, right now I'm just trying to really hone into that skill, get better at it. You know, I got a campaign going and try to get this big piece of equipment.
Put it out there.
So, you know, got this campaign going. Yeah, so I can get this nice piece of industry quality professional equipment so I can really explore this art.
Which is purchased with currency. Not monopoly.
Yeah, no, real money.
Real money.
Yeah.
Let people know, because sometimes people think they could, you know, slide a 20 from the monopoly game.
No,
and we need real money.
Real money.
So this campaign that you have going on, you're getting financial help to fuel your passion.
Yep.
To continue gaining, I guess, tools that you need. This artwork, I could get fancy with names. I don't really know them. You know them.
Yep.
You know what you need, and it's going to do what?
It's gonna help me grow as an artist.
Okay.
It's gonna help me provide opportunities for other artists to grow, because I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I love to share information with people so we can all grow in this industry together.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is Marcus Robinson, his campaign.
Real money.
Real money. We need real money to fuel his passion, because he's not only wanting to teach himself, which he already did and is continuing to do, but he wants to go out and teach other artists. He wants to go out and fuel other passions of other individuals, correct?
Correct.
So, if you can give into his campaign with real money, it would be a help to Marcus A. Robinson, right? We still don't have the A?
Just the A.
Just the A.
Yeah,
just gonna get the A for now. And Marcus, I wish you all the success that can come in your path, in your ending, and your legacy for you, your son, and everything else moving forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Get the real money.
You gotta get that B-roll.
Get the real money.